Welcome to Time Capsule, where we explore life in the 21st century through the eyes of people just like you and me. I'm Monica.
And I'm Joerenz.
And today we have a very special guest. We have actress, talent manager, and author Suzanne Coy. Welcome, Suzanne.
Woo!
Yeah, we're so excited to have you.
Yeah. Wow. Woohoo!
So, can you please introduce yourself? What inspired you to take on your profession?
Oh, well, yes, my name is Zan. Everybody calls me Zan, short for Suzanne. And I'm so excited because our new book in our brand, Miss Bonita and Friends, which is a brand all about mental health for kids, uh, is on Amazon, and it's called The Case of the Girl Who Had to Be Perfectly Perfect. And you could probably pull up the book cover, and in this book you're going to go on an adventure. You're going to have your heart opened. You're going to learn about friends, about fears, and ways to discover how to solve any problem. And really, the other thing is it's teaching kids about loving yourself. And I think we can't start that too soon, you know. So I won't say too much, but the little girl has she's under the thinking for a moment that, oh no, if I don't do this and be perfect, my grandma won't love me, or if I don't get perfect report cards. And it's her journey to discover a lot of truths. And it was inspired by one incredible global leader. This is part of our leadership series, and that's the Honorable Dr. Jean Augustine. This is the woman, she was the first Black woman to be a member of Parliament way back in 1993. She also started Black History Month in Canada. She also created the Empowerment Center for Young Women in 2014. She's an Order of Canada recipient. She has doctorates from 7 universities. I mean, she's just a world leader. And so we listened to her stories, and we just, she flavored the book. We went, I had so much fun researching Grenada, though the book doesn't say Grenada. you know, um, there's a mention of how they have the best chocolate in the entire world because of the volcanoes, right? So because it's fantasy, it doesn't say Grenada, but if you've been there, you'll go, that coastline. So that was really fun to do. And this is a wonderful brand because Miss Bonita and Friends is really, it's an exciting and magical it's series of books, television show, web series, musical live shows, Zoom shows, musical theater, Broadway shows, and musical feature films. All for kids, all that promote emotional intelligence and demonstrate to kids that they have the power to make changes in their own life and they can contribute to their own life journey. And really, it kind of shows them how they can expand their consciousness.
Oh, for sure. And especially in this day and age when we have social media and it's being exposed to kids at a very early age, it's so important for kids to know that not only are they loved so that they're not affected by the toxicity there, that they can make a big impact on the world, you know?
Yeah, and often kids can feel, especially in these pandemic times, very powerless, very lonely, very helpless, very cut off, not supported. So and parents are worried about all the streaming, and how so it's nice to be part of a brand that is like a safe haven for kids. It's a safe, sacred, creative space where they actually were act like Mr. Rogers. The medium is being used for what it what good potential it has, and it's really celebrating creativity and finding encouraging us when we have a problem. First of all, just to be able to talk about it, because we often, how many people think, oh, I'm the only one in the world that this happens to, you know? And so if you can talk about it, you can start to strategize and you can start to encourage yourself to, hey, try new things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. How did you start the Miss Bonita brand? Was this something you knew? Did you know you wanted to be a children's author and have this brand going when you were younger, or was this something that you sort of came about later on?
Well, that's a funny story. The brand is really the heart child of an incredible woman who I am so fortunate to call my dear friend, and that's Lisa Leluz. I just got the honor of being part of this story. This is the fourth in her book series, and she started it from when she was working in daycare, and she was trying to find a creative way to have kids talk about big problems. She would use characters that she made up, like Doobie Bear, and this is funny because we have parallel lives because I always had a passion about kids. I was born in Jamaica, and I moved here, and I had such a thick dialect. And then I was a person of color. We were the only black people in the town, and so that was a real struggle with racism. I was probably called the N word every day of my life. And so I really wanted to make it easier for my sister. So I started a homeschool when I was 7 you know, and just to give her that feeling that nothing should be able to shut off your joy of wanting to learn. And then I was like the best babysitter in the town because I was kind of like Mary Poppins and Cat in the Hat. And really it was about, rather than being bossy and authoritarian, finding a creative way to get a kid to shift their viewpoint, make a change in their consciousness, and make a different choice. And then all of a sudden, you get off grumpy butt radio and you're on love radio again. Because guess what? You could choose, and one's a lot more fun. But if you're, super, super grumpy, then I would play things like say, well, and kids are so aware. I would say, well, where in you is less than love? And they'd go, oh, I got some mad here. I got some sad here. So we would have an operation, and you put all the yucky stuff in this transforming blue light. And then you have a rain of love from the creator. And when it falls on you, it goes ding and turns everything into love. And then I would sing a little song, rain of love pouring down, you, the light, and then they would tell me when they're up to here and they're full. So I was doing this kind of thing all the time in my life while Lisa was, doing her thing. And then I met Lisa because I was coaching drama, at a private college, and her daughter came there, and I just when we met, it was just like soul to soul connection. And I mentored and encouraged her sister, her daughter in the industry. And funnily enough, her daughter, now 23, directed and wrote the 4 episodes that you can see of Miss Bonita and Friends for free on YouTube. You just go to Miss Bonita and Friends YouTube channel, or our website, www Miss Bonita and Friends, and you can watch all 4 episodes. So that's amazing. you know that's how we got started on that. And so I was always one of her biggest fans. She has other books out already. There, you can also get them on Amazon. You know, the clown who had 2 tents, that's dealing with divorce. The lonely boy in the lighthouse, that's dealing with death. And the case of, the ballerina and her missing best friend, and that's dealing with that kind of emotional bullying where um because this girl stopped taking ballet, she lost her circle of friends. They didn't include her anymore, that kind of exclusion, right? And in each case, In every book, there's a story within the story, and these three toys come alive: Doobie Bear, Baba, and Comfy, and they help the kid solve their problem. And it's a story being read by the neighborhood kids who come to Miss Bonita's house, and she's this, magical character who, well, she doesn't have all the answers, but she has a magic message box and she can receive a letter from someone anywhere in the world about their problem. And then she invites all her magical friends and you, the audience, to help this kid solve their problem. So,
Um, it's amazing because when I was reading I got a chance to read the PDF of the latest book about the girl who was perfectly perfect. And
mhm.
I was thinking in my head, this could totally be a TV series because there's like a story within a story. And now to know that there's episodes online, that's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we're exploring, and there's so many different ways you can go. You can make it a cartoon with this stuff. There's, but the whole thing is just being a resource for kids, to know. And what's great about this book is it's so multicultural. And a lot of kids, if you're, growing up and you're reading literature and everybody's white, that can affect your self-esteem if you never see yourself in a story. That's part of, the learning and the curriculum that you're doing.
Oh, for sure. That's something I remember struggling with growing up because a lot of the books that I read, it's weird to think about now, but they were all filled with like people who were white, and I wouldn't see people like me inside those books.
Exactly, exactly. And there's people of every color in these books,
Mhm.
and this one takes place in a kind of tropical island. So there's lots of people of every shade.
Yeah.
So that is also wonderful, and it's wonderful to be working with a change agent and a global leader like the Honorable Dr. Jean Augustine. And that's just the beginning. We're talking to other global leaders, including the Dalai Lama, and it's a wonderful way for kids to see someone who they revere and respect. Oh, they had a problem too, you know,
Yeah.
and they
All
were
right. So
dealing
why
with
don't
it.
we take a quick look at the trailer for Miss Bonita, which I'm going to play on the screen now.
Let's get ready to wrestle! Get along! Whoa! Why are you guys arguing? Oh, listen to me.
Dear Miss Bonita, my name is Faith and I'm 7 years old. I have a brother named Tristan who is 10. We have a really big problem. Our parents fight so much they can't even be in the same room. They yell at us to be quiet and stop being silly. Miss Bonita, can you help us feel better?
When your parents are fighting, don't be the referee and get in the middle. It's not about you when your parents are fighting. It's not about you. They're fighting their own battles.
This one is for when you are very, very sad. Just breathe.
Those were some really great solutions.
You have a lot of great friends.
Anita.
All right. So now let's take a look at what kids are saying about Miss Bonita.
Miss Bonita books have helped me with divorcement problems with my parents and other things like with friends.
It tells you that you just shouldn't give up and that you should just keep trying to make it work.
They help me know what to think and what to do to make me feel better.
It makes me less upset when I lost my friends at different schools that I've been to.
They show you that people are also going through what you're going through and that you're not alone and that you should feel comfortable talking to a guardian because they're not going to make fun of you or judge you.
If someone's going through that type of problem too, they know to always be happy and they always have someone.
It's good for all ages and it can really help people.
I think the Miss Bonita books could help you and many other people around the world.
Yeah.
All right. So this is absolutely amazing. All the work that you've done with kids, and you've worked with Lisa on this amazing brand. Now, let's say that you hadn't gone on that path. Let's say that you decided to pursue something different. What would you be doing, and why would you be taking that career path?
Well, I don't know. I was always fascinated with people, and and when I was 12, I became a psychiatrist. I really I had a little book, and I met with clients, and it was really my main clients were these two girls who were always fighting. They were best friends, but they were always fighting. And they would call me the friendship queen because I had somehow figured a way out for them to stop fighting. I don't know. So I guess something like working with someone like Dr. Omar Wally Satterwhite. He's a great leader in America. Actually, I made a documentary about him, and he goes in and does capacity building in communities that are struggling with poverty and racism, and he finds a way to just tap into a shared wisdom of the group. Never comes in as an expert. He always makes the people choose what change they want to make and just helps them strategize to make those changes. And then he gets all the stakeholders involved, the elders and the youth and the university and the police and the churches and everybody. And it's amazing to watch how he facilitates a group of people transforming their neighborhood, their community, their lives. So I'd love to do, something like that. What I love about working with Lisa Lelou's and the Miss Bonita and Friends brand is that it just fills my heart, and I always felt like, are we getting sidetracked in Hollywood? What is going on here with the artist? The artist isn't supposed to be about promoting greed and psychotic egoism. We're supposed to be humble servants. We're supposed to be the griot. We're supposed to be the shamans, that say, hey, we're all on this hero's journey and this divine mystery of life in this classroom of earth where we're, you know, creating dramas for our own involvement. And what are we learning and how are we being blessed in this situation? And I think that's probably why in my approach to training actors, I just have this thing called the new star system, which is all about that, and all about, we're just here to work with gratitude and flexibility and you know uh consciousness and presence and listening and those qualities that make you an exceptional um conscious being. That's what really the divine storyteller is. It's not about ego at all. It's the opposite. So that's why I love working on this kids brand.
Absolutely.
So, I think you're also an emotional healer, right? It was in your description. Can you tell us more about that? Like, how do you utilize it in the children's books?
Oh, well, it's funny. It's so funny that you said that. Yes, I studied with Donna Eden, who is this incredible, effervescent healer who she healed herself of MS. And she was just one of these people, she could see things, she could see energies. But what she was seeing was all scientific. It was all based on, 5,000 years of science in the science of acupuncture and those ancient traditions from around the world. And so she created this energy medicine, which, you work with managing your energy. You work with understanding how your meridians are connected to your emotions and your organs, you know? So the element of wood is when it's out of balance, it's anger, and that's your liver and your gallbladder. And Fire is your heart and large and small intestines, and that's panic when you're out of balance. And stomach and spleen is earth, and that's worry when you're out of balance. And lungs and large intestine, that's grief when it's out of balance, and that's metal. And kidney and bladder, that's water, and that's fear when it's out of balance. So fascinating, you know, fascinating, because in training actors, what are you really doing? You're training people to attach yourself to other people's emotions and feelings and stand on this mark and suffer. So it's good to have ways to recover from that, you know.
So, Suzanne, we're now at the segment of the show we like to call past, present, future. So, how do you see yourself now, and how does it compare to 5 years ago?
Well, I think I'm more motivated than I was in the past to really get out my own stuff, poetry, my comedy, and I'm doing more of that than just, waiting for auditions. And so I think that's one change. And I think, maybe that's even COVID was a real activator to say, hey, time to, claim your own golden age of creativity and find ways to anchor and express that consciousness that you want to dwell in. Because I think it's a real choice point between staying in the unity consciousness and awareness of who we really are, because I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the emotions, I'm soul. So how can I dwell in that and be active in that and activate others to know that that's a nice perspective change to live from, right? Because a lot of us think, oh, I have a soul. And I think, well, who's having the soul? Would that be your mind that's having that? Your body's having it? Is it no? You are soul. You have a body. You have a mind. It's a big difference. In 5 years, I'm going to be having a vacation life where I'm traveling around the world doing what I love, and I'm not even noticing, oh, I'm not on vacation. I'm working. What? And I'm going to be part of incredible workshops that just ignite people to be on point and be on track. And, I'm working on a wonderful book right now, and Unblocking Your Creative Soul. It's another collaboration with my dear friend, Darlene Montgomery, who wrote Dream Yourself Awake, and then a series of conscious women, conscious lives, conscious daughters, conscious mothers. And I am just thrilled to be, it's like the universe saw me sitting around not getting my stuff out there, and then brings me these incredible people that I respect to collaborate with. And they're all so happy to work with me. And I'm like, wow, and I'm blocking the creative soul. It's just that thing about how we can be a wallflower in our own life where we're kind of too afraid to live and too afraid to die. And I think that was maybe me 5 years ago. And now it's just like, no, we have to just celebrate being here. And when we want to escape, we'll use anything. We'll use our religion, we'll use our thinking, and we're not really like the movie Soul, if you saw that. Jazzing, you know, the movie Soul, where the girl is jazzing in the beingness of really living, and the musician is realizing, hey, this soul actually knows more about really living each moment than I do. So I think that is what I'm about now. It's like, okay, no more excuses. Let's just um help myself and others. I always love helping other people have opportunities and giving people chances. And I'm very motivated. If I'm working with students, I'm going to find sets to put them on and find things for them to really learn in a way that it's like free school, and working with those kind of mentors and inspirers. But I can share a poem with you if you like.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm going to let you choose this subject. People always want to know. We were talking about storytelling, so I have one about that. Um, and I have one that's kind of like a Black History Month one, and then I have one. Uh,
I think storytelling because
Storytelling.
telling your story to the
Story.
world.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? So yes, I really want us to get back on track with the real meaning of the storyteller, because the storyteller is a community advocate and is a person who's saying, okay, I'm going to get humble. I'm going to see when I mess up with my ego, and I'm going to offer it to you, like almost like a prayer, where we can just look at ourselves and go, let's not do that anymore. You know what I mean? Let's not binge watch on Netflix till 5 in the morning. No, just oh, and then you can't function for 2 days. No, I'm half joking, but I'm sure I'm not the only person who's ever done that.
I've done that too. Guilty as charged.
So, if we're talking about the divine storyteller, I think of Alex Haley, who um, discovered his roots by finding a griot that were these little African men, and they would sing in song and rhyme the history of the tribe. And he had to sit with a griot for like 2 weeks as he sang back. And finally, he found the Kinte clan because it was recorded when Kunta Kinte went to make a drum and was captured. So now I think griots, are all of us, are both of you, and anyone who wants to be awake and be active and activate other people and celebrate other people. That I am so big into unity and diversity. And this is the problem I think we're having now. It's people are like, whatever. I don't want to say names, but they're, pro Trump, anti Trump, pro mask, anti mask. And what I'm seeing is a rise in intolerance. And woe is the day when I can't have a different opinion from my neighbor. That's the real problem, not what side of anything you're on. The problem is if we're having a rise in intolerance, that's a problem, you know. So the griot, I think, is really the divine storyteller. So this poem is called Griot. Who am I? I am a myriad of changing perspectives, a translator of intuited directives. I am a shape changer, a rearranger of reality. I speak all languages, and all things speak to me of how it is they happen to be. I tell their stories through this body. I am a sacred clown, called to madness so profound. I am the divine actor. The parts I play are many, with no attachment to any. Clear and free, harmlessly, with integrity. I reflect transparency. Who am I? I'm a traveler traveling by. I am a dogma breaker. I am a mover and shaker. I am a miracle maker. I am an African griot, talking, telling, singing about what is and what's not. I belong to all races and no race. I am the painted face. I am the formless stuff that chooses forms and uses forms to express modern myths, spiritual hieroglyphs that tell the stories of all life's glories. Woohoo!
Oh, is that the end of it?
That's the end. Oh,
That
yeah.
was so good. I
Oh, I
liked
was
it.
so caught up in it.
Well, I've got oodles of that. So that's what 5 years ago I wasn't getting anything out. Now I got to. And it's people like Lisa, the creator of the brand Miss Bonita and Friends, who's also always encouraged me, and said, "Oh, Zan, you're such a giver. You're always igniting everybody. Don't forget about your stuff. Don't forget to replenish and you know,
Definitely. Um,
yeah."
Jumping off of that and all the things that you said so far, what would you say, what principles do you live your life by?
Mm. I would say opening my heart to do whatever I do, like be my best self, do my best, know that I'm here to learn, to give and receive divine love. And then disciplining and managing, I would say the core thing, disciplining and managing my creative imagination. I think that's our greatest gift, but it can be our runaway Frankenstein. When we let that thing out create us, soul has to run the show. The mind is good, it's a great computer, but it has to be the servant. Soul has to run the show. And so, where is my attention? And do I understand the spiritual laws that where my attention is going to create the reality that I'm subject to? But soul is like the clown, is like the actor. I think that's my spiritual connection to acting. The clown has to be able to enter any perception, enter any truth, but not be imprisoned there because there's always a greater truth. you know so I think and also, I think here is a phrase I live by my divine teacher, Harold Klemp. He says every thought, word, and deed purifies or pollutes the body, but the environment.
What are you grateful for? Like, is it a tuning to the spiritual laws or like for any earthly or temporal things?
Well, I think all of it, because really we're here to, I mean, what is heaven? It's any moment that you recognize the divine, and so yes, we have to recognize that in the small things of earth. Yeah, I don't think that we should, you know, um, focus totally on spirit and forget about the body. I think that we can, find the joy in the things that we're doing, in nature and in whatever activity we're doing, and you can, whatever it is, whether you're cleaning the toilet or or, or opening the door for somebody, you can do that with love. you know but taking that time in the morning and in the evening to just to connect within yourself, because things can get so spinny if you live in a city, especially,
Oh,
where
yeah.
we think, oh, I'm so busy, and it's just you're getting pushed around by the mind. In your dreams you can really have adventures. You can wake up in your dreams, right?
Oh, I did that once, like the.
Did you ever have a dream and you know you're dreaming?
Yeah.
You know you're dreaming and you're learning something? Yeah. It's really you can go on adventures, you can, you know.
Yeah, usually when I become conscious in dreams, I start being able to like morph what's around me and things, and it's crazy.
Right, and it's just like life if we become conscious in our life. You know?
Oh, that is,
Right?
yeah, that's
Right, if you could
true.
do it in your dreams, yeah, it's a little more dense here than in dreams, but it's doesn't it start with knowing that we can? You know what I mean? Like at some point in our life, we have to make a decision. We have to make a switch from why did this happen to me to how is this happening for me? How is this happening for me? That opens a door, and then if on top of that, we could just learn to relax. I was just thinking about it, just myself. How is it we can get so tense? And we don't even know we're tense. Our butt squeezed, our back so. It's like almost unconscious, and we just need to relax. Because when we're not relaxed, we're like this. When we're relaxed, we're like this. Then you can receive. Then spirit can come in and help you. But it's that relaxing, and it's not like we're culturally taught how to relax. Um,
True. It's all about like struggling and pushing and like
going
striving
through
through all of
effort, nobody talks about the doing without doing, or the neutral, how to be neutral,
it. Yeah.
how to be like letting go, like you do stuff, but then you have to let go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So fun chatting with you guys. This is what you guys talk about, all this deep stuff.
That's exactly what
Show?
channel actually, because we were like so depressed in December, and we were like, let's just do something to like get our message out there to like imprint people's like stories so the world can see it just in case there's an apocalypse. You can see stories of what life is like. Which actually brings us to our next question. If you were to leave something in a time capsule for people to dig up 100 years later, what would you put in there and why?
I would put the hue in there because it is the key to change your consciousness and to live from being in the eye of the hurricane. And I would put effervescent laughing for no reason as well. Because I think it helps us let go, and it helps us relax to laugh. And I put a clown nose, so you just don't get bent out of shape. You just remember to be flexible and have that clown perspective. That what if it was all a big joke? What would the punchline be again? There is a reason I created this mess. How can I? It's easier to be responsible if I have a clown nose on. I could go, what was I up to with that thinking? What did that get me? Oh dear. You know? Oh,
The interview. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there any social media links you'd like to plug, whether it's for the healing that you do or for the Miss Bonita books?
oh yes, for the Miss Bonita books, definitely. Mission Bonita, Miss Bonita and Friends. It's on our Instagram. It's on our Twitter. I will send you all those handles, and uh, you can shout it out.
Yep. Everyone, please make sure to like and subscribe to all their channels and follow
Yeah,
it up.
like and subscribe, Miss Bonita and Friends. Like and subscribe
Yep.
because we can help you.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Suzanne, thank you so much for being a part of our time capsule. And thank you to all our viewers for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And do so the same for Miss Bonita. Tune in
Yes.
next week to meet another amazing addition to our time capsule.
Oh, that's why you're called time capsule.